Jaya Gurudeva. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo, Gaura Haribo. Jai Shri Rangana Bhagavad Shri Radha Venu Ki Jai Shri Panchatattva Ki Jai Jai Om Vishwan Paramahams Parvakacharya Shri Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev Ki Jai Jai Om Vishwan Paramahams Parvakacharya Shri Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Shri Om Vishwan Paramahams Parvakacharya Shri Bhakti Vedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Shri Ram Vishpad Paramahams Parvakacharya Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Shri Ram Vishpad Paramahams Parvakacharya Shri Bhakti Pragyan Ki Shri Goswami Maharaj Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai Jai Shri Ram Vishpad Paramahams Parvakacharya Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Shri Ram Vishpad Paramahams Parvakacharya Shri Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Shri Ram Vishpad Paramahams Parvakacharya Shri Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Jai Shri Ram Vishpad Paramahams Parvakacharya Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Gaur Bhakti Ki Jai Shri Gauri Vedantacharya Shri Baladev Jibu Shambhu Ki Jai Shri Shri Vishnu Chakravati Thakur Ki Jai Shri Narottam Shri Shivananda Pura Ki Jai Shri Krishna Skaraj Goswami Ki Jai Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Bhattaragana Shri Gopal Bhattara Saragana Sad Goswami Ki Jai Shri Rup Namada Ramanandari Shri Gopal Sharvin Ki Jai Namacharya Shahidastako Ki Jai Bolo Prince Goshi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Shri Antati Mahapos Manti Gautama Baladev Bhattadu Rudnipal Krishna Digdamagi Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Govardhan Varasavanatmaka Shri Bhajmandal Ki Jai Shri Shankun Radha Kungiraj Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Bhakta Shri Bhajmandal Paragrama Ki Jai Shri Bhajmandal Ki Jai Shri Mutur Mandal Ki Jai Shri Mutur Shri Shri Gauri Matur Anani Sakyaman Smoha Ki Jai Shri Radha Kunja Ki Jai Charanam Charshapalaya Characharya Ki Jai Jai Shri Bhakti Vashpala Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Shingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai Nant Gaur Bhakti Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
No Maharaj.
I forget Hari Maharaj was feeling better.
It's bad throat.
He had a bad throat, but yesterday he sounded, so I thought he was coming.
I'll get it higher. No, the Muni Maharaj also. No Maharaj.
What has happened?
I know. He's to take over. The girls take over.
No, you go over. Continue the reading with the rest.
Let's give him a few minutes. Huh?
Yeah, that's
Yes, baby. Yeah.
hopefully.
You go to bed early.
Oh yeah, he was singing. I was hoping that he would come.
No, you can go to bed early. Oh, yesterday he came, good.
Yeah, he came late. Yeah.
Maybe he didn't like.
Either of them has sent my heart's comes. It's well.
वेणु
हाँ।
हाँ मनुष्य नहीं होगा।
अरे मुझे लगा कि उनकी तबीयत सही होगी तो आ जाएंगे आज।
वो तो उसको तो मौका चाहिए, तबीयत खराब थोड़ी ना होता है। वो तो एक बार एक झटका हो जाता है, फिर बस उसके बाद जो रूल्स बन जाते हैं बन जाते। फिर 2 दिन बाद प्रभु जी गाली देंगे, फिर दौड़ के आएंगे, फिर सबको बोलेंगे आओ आओ आओ, तो 2-4 दिन में फिर से रुक जाएंगे।
परिक्रमा शुरू हो रही है। परिक्रमा शुरू हो रही है 28 को खत्म। 8 दिन, 1 हफ्ता बचा है पूरा गिन के। 1 दिन में से 5 दिन परिक्रमा के। Prabhu, Maharaj was somewhere around page number 58, 60. Maharaj, when he was doing Damodar Ashtam, he was doing verse to almost around page number 60, 62, he was there.
Oh, you want to do that?
Let's continue that, or you want to start from as you may like.
Page 60. Well, how about page 59? That's the start. Om Agyanandasya Ganandasya Chakshurumritam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Agyanandasya Ganandasya Chakshurumritam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave. Vandeham Shri Guruvaram Shri Rupam Pravaram Rajarasarasi Kamsha Narayanam Vanshakapatrubhischa Kripasindhu Yegacha Patitanam Bhavanavyo Vaishnavyo. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So due to an insufficient number of sannyasis, I will read this. Page 59 is a Dig Darshini Vritti. On verse 3, let's read verse 3. Itidriksvali lavyananda kundesa goshamima jantama kapyantam tadishita gesha bhakteditatam punarimatastam shataviti vande. By his childhood pastimes such as this Dham Bandhana Leela, he perpetually drowns all the residents of Gokul. His gopas, gopis, cows, calves, and so forth, who are all manifested by his pastime potencies in a pool of bliss. He thus informs those who have knowledge of his absolute divinity that only the pure and simple love of these devotees can conquer him. Again, hundreds of times I offer my loving obeisances unto Sri Damodar Krishna. Digdarshanivati. Sri Krishna's pastimes are lakes of inexhaustible bliss, in which he drowns the entire village of Gokul. The village of Gokul is known as Golshapali, which refers to the place where all the animals, birds, cows, gopas and gopis loudly sing the pastimes of Krishna without cessation. It is constantly resounding with the calls of the gopas and gopis. Milk the cows, untie the cows, bring the milk pail. And all is entirely for the pleasure of Sri Gopal Krishna. When Sri Krishna became a little bit bigger, he discovered that he could go beyond the doorstep leading out of the house. One day, when he and his big brother Balaram went outside, they saw that some bright red flowers had blossomed nearby. However, the flowers were surrounded by a fence of dry, bare thorns. Somehow, they moved the thorny branches aside and went through to pick flowers. Meanwhile, the thorny branches fell back into place, blocking their way out. How will we get out of here, they wondered, and burst into tears. Mother Yashoda heard their loud sobbing and came out of the house. Finding them trapped, she managed to move the thorny branches aside and take them out. Sometimes, Sri Krishna would hold on to the horns of huge bulls and swing on them. Other times, he would become astonished when he saw himself reflected in the jeweled pillars of his home, and he would even try to speak with his own reflection. One day his mother said, "Krishna, go and fetch a calf, and we will worship him." Krishna found a calf and caught hold of him, but when he tried to bring him to his mother, the calf refused to move. Krishna struggled to bring him along, tugging and pulling all the way. He finally reached the house, but when he noticed a pot of butter hanging from the ceiling, his mouth began to water. He climbed on the calf's back and, taking hold of the pot, he began to empty it of his contents. Seeing his chance to escape, the calf fled from the spot, leaving Krishna dangling in midair. "Maya! Maya!" he cried. Mother Yashoda, finding Krishna hanging in the air, took him down and scolded him. Early each morning, the gopis used to crowd into Mother Yashoda's home just to see Sri Krishna. Sometimes, some gopis would say, "Krishna is so strong," while others would argue, "No, Balaram is much stronger." How shall we definitely find out who is stronger? I know. Let the two boys wrestle, and the winner will get a big lump of butter. On these occasions, just by seeing the butter, the two boys' mouths would begin to water and they would start wrestling. The gopis, siding with Krishna, would clap their hands if he won, but if he lost, then the gopis on Baladev's side would clap victoriously. Sometimes, a gopi would tempt Krishna with a laddu, saying, "O Kanaya, if you dance for us, I will give you this laddu." And putting his hand on his waist, he would dance to the rhythm, tatai, tatai, and even sing a sweet little song. In various ways, the Vraj gopis would make Krishna dance. He became just like their puppet, for he came under their full control. At other times, the gopis who came to visit Mother Yashoda would order Krishna, "Krishna, bring us that wooden seat." Their darling little Krishna would try to lift that little small seat, but when they saw that he could not do so, they swelled with sweet affection for him. The same Sri Krishna, in his Varaha incarnation, lifted the entire earth upon his tusks. Also, when Sri Krishna was a little older, he easily lifted on his tusks Also, when Sri Krishna was a little older, he easily lifted Govardhan hill on his little finger, as if it were no more than a toy ball. But in his childhood pastimes in the same Braj Dham, he could not even lift a small wooden seat. This is the nature of his sweet human-like pastimes. He controls and maintains everything in creation, yet he is controlled by the residents of Braj. Although he is the master of unlimited potencies, including his Gatana Agatana Shakti, which makes the impossible possible and the possible impossible, in Braj, he is unaware of his supreme absolute position. There, in Braj, he is an innocent and simple child, nourished and cared for by his affectionate mother. As befitting an obedient son, he brings his father's shoes, carrying them on his head, and considers, Father will wear these shoes to attend the assembly of Gopas. What is the meaning of Itidriksha Lila Bhyananda Kunde Swagoshamnima Jantam? Sri Krishna's sweet childhood pastimes are an ocean of ras. That ocean is inexhaustible and it has no boundary, for it is absolutely unlimited. He drowns all the gopas, gopis, cows, calves, and the entire settlement of Braj in the vast ocean of these pastimes. Even he, in fact, drowns in the ocean of the sweetness of his own pastimes. So even Krishna himself drowns in his own pastimes, sweetness of his own pastimes. Why does Sri Krishna perform these pastimes? Sri Satyavrata Muni answers this question in relation to Tadiyeshita Geshu, those who always retain knowledge of Bhagavan's supreme position. So why does Sri Krishna perform these pastimes? Satyavrata Muni answers in relation to those who always retain knowledge of Bhagavan's supreme position. A Tattvajnani sees Brajendanandan Sri Shamsundar as the source of all incarnations and the essence and ultimate limit of Godhead. They know him as the possessor of all six opulences in their fullness and the Supreme Lord who has the power to make the impossible possible. Devotees such as Narada and the four Kumaras have full knowledge of Sri Krishna's true position. Through these pastimes, Sri Krishna is explaining to them, although I possess the potency to make the impossible possible, I am, nonetheless, controlled by the residents of Braj. I am simply playing here in the mood of an ignorant child. So Satyavrata Muni is explaining why he performs these pastimes. Is to show those Tattvajnanis, those people who are aware or worship Krishna in Aishwarya with full knowledge that he's God, with full knowledge of his six opulences, his knowledge of his ability to make the impossible possible. So he's showing to these devotees, or to these Tattvajnanis, that although I possess the potency to make the impossible possible, I am nonetheless controlled by the residents of Braj. I am simply playing here in the mood of an ignorant child. His uncommon childhood pastimes, like this Damodar Leela, are supremely charming. One day, a fruit seller from Mathura came to Braj to sell her fruit. She had heard of the preeminent sweetness of Sri Krishna's pastimes in Gokul and had become exceedingly eager to see him directly. Although she came to Braj often, she had never gotten the chance to see Sri Krishna. He was always asleep or in the lap of his mother. At other times, he was surrounded by his friends or busy playing inside his home. She tried again and again, but she was always unable to see him. Direct vision of Sri Krishna is easily available to the residents of Braj, but it is quite rare for the people of Mathura. Still, the heart of the fruit seller became so full of anxiety that she resolved, if I do not see Krishna today, I will not return to Mathura. A sadhaka's resolve should be exactly the same. He should think, day and night I will execute the limbs of devotion as instructed by Sriman Mahaprabhu and Srila Rupa Goswami. With love, I will chant a fixed number of Sri Hari's names and serve Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas. Every day I will study Srimad Bhagavatam and other devotional literatures. Every day I will recite Gopi Gita, Venu Gita, Brahma Gita, and Yugala Gita. If I come across a Sikh Vaishnava, I will give my life to serving him. I will visit the places where Sri Radha Krishna performed their confidential pastimes, in the groves and forests of Braj. I will pray very piteously there and recite hymns and prayers that are full of longing. Then, Sri Krishna will surely give me his darshan. He is not far away. Having made her vow, the fruit seller came to Nanda Maharaj's cowherd settlement and wandered about near his house. She began crying out, "Come, take fruits, follow, follow. Come and take mangoes, bananas, guava, follow, follow." But within moments, she became so absorbed in thinking about Krishna that instead of calling out the names of the fruits, she cried out, "Come, take Gopal, Govinda, lo, Madhava, lo, Damodar, lo." At first, she had been balancing the basket of fruit on her head with one hand, but eventually she forgot to hold the basket altogether. It kept from falling only due to her natural expertise. Finally, she sat down before the doorstep of Nanda's house. When Sri Krishna heard the cries of the fruit seller, he could not remain sitting quietly on his mother's lap, so he climbed down and went to a nearby mound of grain. After taking as much grain as he could hold in his joined palms, he started towards the fruit seller. But his hands were so tiny that all the grain fell from them as he walked. When he reached the fruit seller, all that he had left were a few grains that were wedged in between his palms and fingers. He poured them into her basket and demanded, "Oh, give some fruit." The fruit seller became completely enchanted by the beautiful form of little Krishna and just sat there looking at him for some time. The import of this pastime is that unless someone is intensely eager to see Sri Krishna and is absorbed in remembering him, just as the fruit seller was, he does not give them his darshan. Sri Krishna only gives his darshan to those sadhakas who desire nothing but to see him and to serve him. In other words, he only appears before those who have become completely free from anarthas. When the fruit seller returned to external consciousness, she said, "Lala, my darling baby boy, I will only give you fruit if you sit on my lap just once and call me Ma." Little Krishna carefully looked in all directions to make sure that nobody was watching. When he was sure that no one could see, then he jumped on her lap. "Ma!" And then quickly he jumped off again. "Give me fruit." All the deepest desires within the heart of the fruit seller had now been fulfilled. She wanted to give Krishna all of her fruit, but she could only give him as much as he could hold in his tiny arms and tiny hands. When Kanhaiya returned to where Mother Yashoda was sitting in the courtyard, he placed the fruit in her veil. "Lala, where did you get these fruits from?" she asked. Krishna simply pointed towards the door. Mother Yashoda became delighted to see such succulent and tasty fruits. She began to distribute them to all the gopis present, but, amazingly, even though there were only a few fruits. The quantity did not diminish. When Krishna left the fruit seller near the doorstep of his house, she completely lost external awareness. Sri Krishna had stolen her heart, and she simply sat in the very same spot until a gopi passed by and shook her and brought her back to external consciousness. She slowly picked up her basket of fruit, placed it on her head, and then set off for Mathura. As the fruit seller walked along the bank of the Yamuna river, she realized that her basket had become much heavier than before. When she set it down and looked inside, she was struck with wonder. Her basket was filled up with a variety of valuable jewels. She picked up the basket, threw it into the Yamuna, and burst into tears. Sri Krishna has cheated me, she cried. I have been completely deprived of his real mercy. Overwhelmed by love for Sri Krishna, she lamented bitterly and never returned to her home. When Sri Krishna steals anyone's heart, invariably this becomes their condition. Evam vrata swapriya namakritya jatanaraga trutocita uche hasatya taraditi roti gayati unmadavan Richati Lokabaya. Saintly people who have firmly devoted themselves to serving Bhagavan with deep love constantly engage in kirtan of their most beloved names of Krishna. When deep attachment and anurag arises in them, their hearts thoroughly melt and they become mad in love of God. They laugh and cry loudly. Agitated by love, they sing about their Lord in sweet voices, just like madmen. Without a trace of shyness, they dance and sing, unaffected by the opinions of ordinary people. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.40. Saintly people who have firmly devoted themselves to serving Bhagavan with deep love constantly engage in kirtan of their most beloved names of Krishna. When deep attachment, anurag, arises in them, their hearts thoroughly melt and they become mad in love of Krishna. They laugh and cry loudly. Agitated by love, they sing the name of their Lord in sweet voices, just like madmen, without trace of shyness. They dance and sing unaffected by the opinions of ordinary people. The evil demoness, Putana, who would murder small children and drink their blood, beautifully disguised herself as a mother and entered Braj intending to kill baby Krishna. Despite her wicked deceit, merely on the basis of her motherly appearance, Sri Krishna granted her a position as a real nursemaid in Goloka. And in exchange for a morsel of worthless ship rice, just see what he gave Sudama Vipra. Then what will he not give to this fruit seller who was ready to give him all of her fruit? Even four-headed Sri Brahma, creator of the universe, cannot imagine the answer to this question. Lord Brahma says, Isham Gosha Nivasinam Uta Bhavan Kim Devaratatena Cheto Vishwa Falat Phalam Tvat Aparam Kutrapi Ayan Muyati Sadvesha Deva Purna Putana Pisa Kumatvam Deva Pita Yadamata Surit Priyatama Priyatma Tanaya Pranasayastvat Kvite. This is Lord Brahma speaking. O Master who is most worshipable, even for the demigods, now my mind is becoming bewildered by doubt. How will you be able to reward the residents of Braj for their service? You are the condensed form of the highest benediction. There is no reward superior to obtaining you. But even if you give your very self to the Brajvasis, you will not be freed from your debt to them, because you have even given yourself to Putana. She was extremely cruel at heart, yet, by deceitfully appearing before you in the form of a virtuous nursemaid, she has obtained you. Even her relatives, like Agasura and Bakasura, have now obtained you. So how can you give the same reward to the Brajbasis who have given you everything? They have offered you their homes, wealth and relatives. They have even offered their own bodies, children, life and mind. Everything at your lotus feet. Every day, Sri Krishna will perform beautiful, sweet pastimes like these and immerse the residents of Braj in an ocean of bliss. There are those who know him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the controller of all others. They know him as the possessor of all potencies, as the causeless original cause of all other causes, as the supreme being who has no equal, what to speak of a superior, and as he who makes the impossible possible. Yet, by these pastimes, he is showing such knowledgeable personalities that he can only be controlled by Bhakti. What kind of Bhakti can control him? The four Kumaras, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Sri Narada, Sri Uddhav, and the Yadavas, as well as many others, all have some form of Bhakti, but their Bhakti can never control him. Aishvarya Shitila Prema Nahi Mora Prita. I am not pleased by love that is weakened by awe and reverence. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila 3:16. Devotees who have a reverential love for Krishna stand before him and, with folded palms, offer him prayers. But if someone loves him with a mood similar to one of the Brajvasis like Subal, Sridhar, Madhamangal, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, or above all, one of the Braj Gopis, then Sri Krishna will come under his control. Among these Brajvasis, the Braj Gopis are supreme, and amongst them, Srimati Radhika is topmost. If someone's devotion to Sri Krishna is like the devotion of Srimati Radhika's maidservants, then he can control Sri Krishna completely. The following verses celebrate these facts. Anangaranga Mangala Prasanga Bangura Ruvamsa Vibramamsa Sambramam Dragantabana Pantane Nirantaram Vasikwita Patiti Nandanandane Kadakarisya Sihamam Kripakatakshabhajanam. O Saveshwari, mistress of all controllers, O Radhika, on the stage of amorous sport, in the course of an auspicious discussion, you express amazement by curving your eyebrows like bows, and then suddenly firing the arrows of your sidelong glances, piercing the son of Sri Nanda with amorous delusion, and bringing him under your perpetual control. When will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? Even Sri Sita, the wife of Bhagavan Sri Ram, could not control Sri Ram by her love. Sri Ram gave her up and sent her to the forest to live in exile. Could Sri Krishna ever banish Srimati Radhika from his house in Nandagal? Srimati Radhika does not even live in his house with him. He becomes so nervous in her presence that he could never ask her to leave his house, what to speak of banishing her from it forever. The reason he becomes so nervous around her is because he is always impassioned with love for her. When she instructs him in the various arts, such as dancing, he fears that he may make some mistake. Priyako nachavata shikavati priya Pyari Mana Gomana Lakuti Liye Tari Dharapata Kunja Vihari. While instructing her beloved in the art of dancing, Shri Radhika watches him with a cane in her hand, ready to chastise him. Her cane is her sulky, contrary mood, which causes Shri Kunja Vihari to fear making any mistake. While instructing her beloved in the art of dancing, Shri Radhika watches him with a cane in her hand, ready to chastise him. Her cane is her sulky, contrary mood, which causes Shri Kunja Vihari to fear making any mistake. When Shri Radhika spontaneously becomes inflamed with man, jealous anger, either with or without any cause, Shri Krishna prays. Smaragarla kandanam mama shirasi mandanam dehi pada pavam udaram. Oh my beloved, Cupid's powerful poison is devastating me. Please be merciful to me and place upon my head the cooling, tender petals of your lotus feet. What to speak of bowing at the lotus feet of Sarveshwari Shri Radha, Shri Krishna falls at the feet of Shri Rupa Manjari and Shri Rati Manjari, her maidservants, when, on their Swamini's order, they forbid him to enter Shri Radha's kunj. He begs them for permission to enter, pleads with them and flatters them just to pacify them. Just to see the position of Shri Radha's maidservants, our worshipful Shri Raghunath Das Goswami says, Padabjayas Tavavina Varadashameva Nanya Kadapi Samaiki Ladelayache Sakyayate Mama Namostu Namostu Nityam Dasyayate Mama Rasostu Rasostu Satyam. O Goddess, you are capable of bestowing all benedictions, but I do not want anything other than service to your lotus feet. I offer my obeisances forever to Sakya, the mood of friendship. But the essence of my life, the real essence of my life, is Dasya, mood of service. So that's Shri Prabodhananda Saraswati eternal. Shri Pramoda Saraswati's eternal identity in Shri Krishna's pastimes is Tungavidya Saki, one of Shri Radha's 8 principal Sakis. But he is also praying to attain the position of being Shri Radha's maidservant. Tat kinkareshu bhausha kalakakavani nityam parasya parushasya shikandamoli tasya kadara sanadeva shibanajaya stat keli kunjabhavananganamajanisha. O daughter of Vishwanath Maharaj, O son of Ras, that beautiful boy who wears a gracefully tilting peacock feather in his hair is actually the original personality of Godhead. Still, he's always falling at the feet of your maidservants and pitifully begging them with many humble words to gain entrance into your kunj, where the two of you engage in your playful, loving pastimes. My life would be successful if I could even be one stick in the broom of your maidservants. My life would be successful if I could even be one stick in the broom your maidservants use to clean your delightful kunj. Shri Krishna rises when the gopis order him to rise, and he sits when they order him to sit. Chachiya bara chaya bara hari kona chabem. Just see the glories of these ladies of Braj. They make Sri Hari dance for a mere palmful of buttermilk. No other kind of bhakti has the power to control Krishna in this way. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Shri Chamandrastakam ki jai jai. Shri Gurudev ki jai. Sai Go Premanandi.